While it doesn't have the cachet of the La Brea tar pits, Tar Hollow State Park and State Forest is really a pretty place to come out. In Logan Trail, mostly in Tar Hollow State Forest, is a challenging figure eight. Right in the middle of the figure eight, there's actually a camping area, the camping area for backpacking, but it's also close to a parking lot. So you can do some fairly luxurious backpacking here. And there's 2 loops to hike, and we're gonna do both the south and north loop. So we'll see how that goes. The trail's a kind of a figure eight, but it all comes together at this fire tower. Camping is nearby as well. We'll see that later, but we are going to start the south loop hiking counterclockwise. Starting out, the trail's marked very well. A nice change from some of the other trails I've done recently. Path has been used enough that you can tell where the tread is, and right now I'm looking at 4 different blazes. Not even 4/10 of a mile in. One of the differences between a state park and state forest, they're actively logging up there. Our trail's been rerouted. So hopefully it's a short reroute, and we'll find out soon enough. Crossed the road, jumped into the woods for less than 100 yards. Now we came back out to the logging road and we're following it. We're at the intersection of the north and south loop. North loop leaves the logging road. South loop continues on the logging road, at least for a short period of time. Less than 100 yards on the logging road. We pop off to the left here. This part isn't overly well marked, but it seems obvious it's the way you want to go. And there is a blaze up here on what was an old logging road. Get to the road crossing, you actually turn left. Walk, I'm gonna say 150 feet down the road to the left, and then dropped into the woods on the right to this creek crossing. Quite about 5 miles in, make it to the intersection, down to Camp Dueling. It's you've got a map. It's waypoint R. Dropping down to Camp Dueling. About 6 miles in, we made it to the camp. It's, obviously has a latrine, some picnic tables, nice flat spots to camp. All in all, pretty nice area. Trail left the camp. We're following this creek up the valley, but at some point we're gonna have to do some serious climbing. We hit what I gotta assume is the main loop again. No signage right at the intersection. Although when you turn right, the direction you want to keep going in, go maybe 50 feet. There is one of the trail waypoints, and that would be point Q. Been walking since the camp up on a gravel road. It's lately been running a ridge. Pretty steep on the right side. There's our gravel road we're walking on. The red blaze right there. But you start looking over the other side. It's not very wide, and it is very deep down there. We're looking at 300 to 400 feet drop on either side. Pretty impressive. Dropped off the ridge down towards the road crossing we're going to have, and obviously we've got a little creek crossing first. Right now we're looking at arrows going 2 directions. There's a couple I see red dots, red blazes up the trail to the right. If you look at the sign here at N, you definitely cross a creek and go in between a couple creeks. So there's also a trail straight ahead with a red blaze that I can see. So it's a crapshoot. We'll go to the left. We just came up here from point N, across the creek. Might be a short reroute that we missed. No more than 100 yards. Back there where the arrows went 2 directions. If we'd have gone right, we'd have caught the trail. Either way, we're doing some serious climbing. Finally starting to top out. Just an absolutely brutal climb up from the creeks and point N. Close to a 400-foot climb, and it did not mess around. Straight up the hill. Up on the ridge, heading for the fire tower. Pretty wide open through this stretch, but if you do drift over to one side or the other, you still get some very pretty views of the pretty dramatic topography here. Trail pops out at the fire tower, and we're heading back past the car. Couple of trains near the front, and we're going to stroll on back there. There are 4 campsites. About 100 yards from where you can park and the fire tower, the campsites start. This is number 120, the very first site. All the same basic setup. Firing table. This one's kind of flat. The next 2 are a little rough, and the best site is 124 all the way in the back. Here we are at the last site, site 124. Nice and flat, nice fire ring, picnic table, and somebody had the foresight to go ahead and set their tent up before they started to hike. Here comes our firewood delivery. It turned out to be a great evening for camping.
Slept pretty good last night. Just a beautiful night, quiet, warm. I'm going to say it got down to maybe 55. Very comfortable. Should be good hiking today. It's going to get warm, but it does look like it'll be at least partly cloudy, so sun won't be beating on me. Simple joy of having a picnic table. You don't have to put all your cooking equipment in the dirt or find a flat log. Tastes just as good as it looks. Give me a report on that latrine. Within sight of the fire tower, but actually a pretty long walk, maybe 200 yards down to the campsites. You do have the latrines. Very nice as latrines go. Obviously maintained, open air. They even have toilet paper. Heading back out in the morning, go right up to the fire tower. Bear to the right, we're going back out the way we came in. The north and south loop run together for a short period of time.
Today we're doing the north loop counterclockwise. About 3/4 of a mile from our start this morning. We do lose the Buckeye Trail. It bears off to the right. Logan Trail continues straight ahead. Just about a mile in. Very impressive trail work along the side of a very steep embankment. The trail actually goes right behind the dam to Pine Lake. Thankfully, the PR folks at Ohio State didn't think to name it Lake Tar. So we're actually off the trail a little bit here. Secondary trailhead for Logan Trail, especially if you're going to do the North Loop as a day hike. You got a parking lot right behind the dam, restrooms, and the trail runs right through that section. To the big climb from Lake Tar, or Pine Lake, you do walk ridge for quite a while. Very nice stroll at this point. 3.5 miles in for the day. We're actually just skirting the edge of the campground. We're at about 6 miles for today's hike. Found a pretty good lunch spot. Plenty of nice seats.
See a second red mark up there.
Getting into the logging area, starting to get a little confusing. Starting to wonder if we weren't supposed to reroute, but the bulldozer trail off to the right didn't seem to be marked as well as this trail was until we got to this slash, but it wasn't that difficult to get through it, and it looks like we're back on the obvious trail at this point. Just finished climbing a hill, got to the top where we meet up with a south loop right by the active logging. I know there's a way through, it's just a matter of finding it, whether we're by this fence or we have to backtrack a little. Well, almost done. Back to where the north loop and the south loop run together. One final big climb up to the fire tower. It's quite a hike. Did about 11.5 yesterday. Gonna end up being about 10.5 today. Did over 2,000 feet of ascent each day. It's not really backpacking in that you're camping near your car, but it is quite a hike. Some of the roughest topography you're gonna find in Ohio. And I lucked out to have some pretty good weather. So until next time, this is Jim Rahtz, your old man outdoors. Take care, keep hiking, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see ya. There she blows.